Hello, Sandram is here. Today is nice day, Monday. So I'm setting up my regular nightly session. Right now it's about 8 p.m. in Los Angeles in Westwood Location Studio. And I'm looking forward to it. Just gonna have a couple thoughts to share since this is actually my new channel name. It's called Sandram TV. What I decided to do is actually to open up to the public my kitchen of sounds, ideas, and things I'm doing, why I'm doing the things, and also my thoughts on life and health and wellness. Musicians have, I would say, pretty tough life, of course, like anybody. However, and there is no such a description in any vocabulary which hiring people, job position, musician, it just don't exist. You just have to choose to do that for any reasons. If you feel it meaningful, or you love doing it, or you want to make it as a business, as a money income. So it's probably the toughest profession to have in real world right now, and I can tell you why. It takes lots of time to come up with good music, good drum parts, good arrangement. Then you have to find who you want to play with, or if you decide to produce your own music, how are you gonna produce it? You hire a producer or you learn production, because lots of aspects right now are really open to the public as well. For example, with laptop you can make an album. You just have to know how, and also what kind of album it's gonna be. What does it mean to you? What kind of messages has? Is that album audible? Is it interesting? And if it is, how are you gonna sell it? How are you gonna market it? This world have so much music already. So I think I'm doing music just because I love it, and I have different training as far as my trade. I'm actually engineer of road building machines by my college education. However, always loved music, and also I'm combining my knowledge of engineering, of cabins, of caterpillars, with actually application to the drums, drum set, or musical instruments. So I'm really into physical aspects of performance. For example, what happens when people play piano, how people play piano. I'm really interested in that. What happens when people play guitar? They hold like this or like this, hold fingers. What is thought process and what is physical and spiritual process happening with musician when he plays by himself, when he plays with the tracks and recording himself or herself, Also, when musician on camera or off camera, that's quantum theory for you as well. It's very complex. Later research been stated by many scientists. It's been established that actually sound waves are real particles. So, wow, this is this is awesome. I want that. You know, I always thought sounds coming from me. It's actually me, but I didn't understand how that works. But also, what does it mean, me? Is it something I'd like to hear? And what part of me? Because I have many me, you know, mini me, big me, all this comedy stuff, and also it's real stuff. You know, there is a quantum theory and theory of many dimensions of universes being parallel. Wow, so much information, but it's very interesting how to actually roll back when I started more than 50 years ago, closely listen music. And music was really interesting back then. Um, it was, it's interesting now as well. It's just different sounds, you know, we encountering. So I grew up actually listening Communist Party hymns, also lots of Russian corporate music, because I was born in golden era of communism development in 1959, and I was born in Almaty, Kazakhstan, which is a really interesting city, a beautiful city, and it happened to be a capital of lots of great knowledge and culture, very diverse too, because during Second World War, Almaty, that was former capital of Kazakhstan, now it's Astana or Nazarbayev, whatever they call it right now. It's a long story. So Almaty was like treasure island to me, and still is. It's right next to the Himalayas mountains from northern part, called Han Tengri. Beautiful mountains. Also, it sits inside of the bowl, like a mountain bay, with beautiful green hills around, and famous skating rink, world famous skating rink, and it's man-made ice, so it's super fast. It's the fastest ice skating rink in the world. It's called Medel, and I was fortunate being part of designing and building it as a student in student group when I was in college. So that's a great city I'm talking about. I was growing up, and also music scene was unbelievable, and still is, what I understand from my Facebook contacts with my fans and friends and peers. I haven't been back for more than 37 years or something. I'm planning to, so this is very interesting city. So Almaty had incredible jazz scene where I became part of musicianship. I had great teacher Tahir Ibrahimov, which was leader of great innovative model jazz band Boomerang. So very fortunate, and then I moved from Almaty to Moscow. Before 1991, I spent 5 years in Moscow laboratory, and actually played in numerous now very famous bands like Allianz, then Dimwits called Tupые, Roma Shukov was in touch with Alla Pugacheva, and also big friends with A Studio, which is doing great right now. It's a great band with Baigali Sirkibaev and Vladimir Miklosic as the leaders for many years. They do an incredible project. So all these thoughts coming through, and when I moved to America, I realized why I want to be here. Well, the most innovative music in the last century came from America, starting from New Orleans jazz and then big band jazz, and then of course bebop, rock and roll, metal, heavy rock. I don't count death metal because it's enough death on this planet. I really don't want to deal with that. So I'm staying with electronic music for quite some time as well, and it's beautiful how it's evolving. I consider rap music also electronic music, but it's have specific things which I don't like much. It's just very repetitive message, and it's usually negative, and really drives me nuts. I just can't listen somebody yapping about the same stuff. Grow up, you know. Come on. If you rap about something cool and beautiful. That's my opinion, you know. People gotta raise their voice, issues, whatever. But also, I like electronic music because it's very challenging to play it live. Why? I can explain you why. Electronic music done by computer and imagination of producers and composers. And it's very fascinating because right at your fingertips on keyboard or controller, you can dial any sounds and you can connect it in certain sound systems, which really create specific mood and put me in certain headspace and even spiritual space where actually things happening really differently for me in this life. Meaning I can take my mind off certain day issues, you know, which bugging me sometime. Well, maybe all the time. You can get into anxious side of the life as well and stay there, but it's not fun. You know, I'd like to be somewhere where, okay, I got food to eat, I got place to sleep. What else I gonna do? You know, I wanna create something, and that's raised another question: how you create something meaningful, something interesting. Also, instead of just thinking about it, it get to the point you actually have to do it. But so that's another question, extravaganza, how you do it. So question after question and answers, that keeps life interesting. So I'm gonna stop for now. This was my, I would call, Cosmic Waves talk for today. Today is actually September 23rd, 2019, and I see you next time. Sandram. please subscribe. This button is right there. Push it. I'm gonna have more talks. I feel like start talking because I had so many ideas inside before and now, and I'd like to share it with you. Also, if you have any questions about life in Russia, about life in America, if you have any problems with music development or even life problems or even mood problems, just put in comments or message me. I would be happy to answer. I got good experience on resolving lots of problems, and I'm in pretty good space right now, so you're welcome to communicate with me. Would be happy to help. And I'm not saying that I resolve all my problems, but just way it's working right now and way actually I set it up long time ago, it's happening now. So I have to sometimes readjust my thinking, and wow, it's already happening. Whatever I wanted to do, I'm actually doing it. So what am I gonna do with that? That's the next question. And for now, I'm doing live drum remixes, but it's very entangled with quantum theory, psychology, working with anti-depression, habits development, like through the music. I do have depression issues and anxiety issues through all my life. However, music helps me to deal with them on a beautiful manner, and that's what I want to share with you. Maybe that can help you as well as dieting. I lost 80 pounds in past 7 months by doing what I do here in my sound lab, and also discovered special ways to eat and when to eat and what to eat. So it's combination, and of course a little bit exercise. Everything have to be in balance. You can make addiction pretty much anything. You can get addicted to running, to workout, as well as to alcohol, which I used to have plenty too. I totally stopped drinking about 8 years ago, and I actually was able to quit smoking as well. And I can help you with that. So anyhow, welcome to Sun Drum TV channel, and I'm your host, and have nice time of the day. Sun Drum.